Is that a BMW, bro? Is that a Supra? Bro, it must be a BMW. It shares everything with the BMW. I don't want a Euro car. Bring the 2J back. What happened to the 3JZ, bro? Look, yeah, guys, we get it. I think the car's a BMW. Even if it were, this car is proving people wrong left and right with how much power it can withstand and how much aftermarket support will be backing it, including us. Now, the Toyota Supra, known as probably the most biggest and iconic JDM car to date thanks to the Fast and Furious, needs absolutely no recognition and continues to wow car enthusiasts everywhere. Now, to give you a quick history on the car, the Toyota Supra was first brought into the market in 1978, known as the Toyota Celica Supra. Now, the car was first powered by a couple different inline-six motors, which both put out roughly 115 to 125 horsepower. Now, as the next few generations of Supra made their way into the garages of many car enthusiasts, Toyota stayed true to the Supra by keeping every single power plant that touched the Supra, at least at the factory level, with an inline-six motor. The A90 with an optional inline-4 engine is the first time Toyota has ever offered anything other in the Supra platform. So, brought into today's market with the A90, this car has had a lot of hate. But this new to Toyota engine, the B58, has proven itself as a powerhouse to us and many other companies, creating big power and doing a whole lot of modifying, which is what it is that we're here to talk about today. But before we go ahead and jump into today's video, I want to let you know that we actually do make A90 and A91 Toyota Supra parts here at MAPerformance. Specifically, currently out on the market, we've got our downpipe and our catback available for sale. Now, they are some incredibly unique products, but I'll go ahead and let you read about them by clicking the links. There's gonna be one down in the description too, and one is potentially the top comment in this video. So anyways, guys, if you're interested in parts for your Toyota, if you just bought one or you're looking to buy one, check out the parts that we make for them because they're great and they're also relatively affordable in comparison to other Toyota Supra parts, which are not stereotypically affordable. That's why I can't afford to have one of these cars. So, all right, guys, first pro on the list is that, look, it's a Supra, okay? I've spent a significant amount of time behind the wheel of our car, and I'll say this. Obviously, ours is wrapped orange, which just brings extra attention to the car, but I don't think I've ever driven in a car that turns as many heads as this one does. People from old to young admire the car. Even the guy driving a Monte Carlo with flames on the side gives you a thumbs up when you drive a Toyota Supra. So from one perspective, it's a car that, although people make fun of, everyone loves to see it. So it's a great car to have. The next pro for me is that there's a ton of potential with this car from the factory. The cars themselves have room for a ton of horsepower, and with some simple modifications, primarily, you know, a catback exhaust to wake the thing up and a downpipe for a little bit more free-flowing air, with a tune to accompany that. I don't know if I can actually name a car that makes more power with just two parts being thrown at it. Oh wait, I can. It's other BMWs that use the exact same motor. It's a BMW. It's a pro, guys. I like BMWs. All right, guys, next pro is that it's a driver-oriented car. This was built to be a driver's car. It's built to be a modified car, so the driver and the performance of the vehicle was taken into consideration with every step. They think about the driver with every step of the way. So again, it's a driver's car. It's really great performance-wise. It handles incredibly well. It handles performance and modifications relatively well. Obviously, if you pick the right parts and do the right steps, it makes sense. Next thing for me is gonna be that the interior also does feel incredibly modern. I think it sounds dumb, but one of my favorite things is the wireless charger that comes in the car. It's not something that typically like a performance-minded enthusiast necessarily appreciates, but when you drive a plethora of performance vehicles, all relatively back-to-back, you realize it is sometimes the little things that make them actually that much more incredible. So again, it's also got the heads-up display. Of course, it's got really nice JBL speakers. The head unit itself is really nice. It works with like Apple CarPlay, stuff like that. So it's really awesome. It's really a nice interior. Me and Dalen drove this thing 36 hours straight from LA to Minneapolis, and it's a great car. Another pro for me is gonna definitely be the Valvetronic exhaust that comes from the factory. Obviously from the factory, it is a little bit quieter, even in normal and sport mode, but once you throw an aftermarket exhaust on there, like ours, you know, it turns out to be pretty spectacular. The car sounds absolutely awesome. It sounds very characteristically like a car with a B58. They all sound very similar. Again, I love the fact that it's just super simple to throw the car into like a standard normal mode and then open it up to sport mode when you want to make a little extra noise. You realize that having attention on you literally all the time when you drive a Supra isn't always great. Okay. Last pro for me is going to be that you can definitely find room to eat on any of the exterior surfaces of the car. Dalen and I probably ate about 75 Los Angeles burritos for breakfast on the trunk and or hood of the car, along with many L&L Hawaiian barbecue meals on the hood. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out there the chicken katsu is phenomenal and the drinks are even better, but the car makes for a great table when you're eating COVID style in the parking lot on the hood of your Toyota Supra. So. All right, you guys, now with that being said, let's jump into the cons of modifying and also just kind of owning an A90 Supra. The first one, as I hinted at before, is gonna be the awful wind buffeting that comes into play when you roll down the windows. Obviously, everyone has identified this as a major con with the car. And for the most part, to my understanding, the reasoning that they left it as is from the factory is because actually by adding the wind buffeting kits, it's actually terrible for the aerodynamics of the car, to my understanding. But again, that's based on my relatively rudimentary level of knowledge when it comes to aerodynamics. So I'm just gonna go off of what I believe I recall and say that it is poor for the actual aerodynamics of the car. However, it does get rid of that wind buffeting sound, the chopper-like noise that you'd come to expect when you roll down the windows on your Supra. So as we actually see flying off the shelf, the AMS carbon fiber gloss or carbon fiber matte wind buffeting kits that just go on the side there. They look absolutely phenomenal and they're always readily available. We'll throw a little link to those down below because for me, it is the biggest con, and every Toyota Supra owner needs to have these literally with them when they take delivery of the vehicle because it's horrible. You want to hear the car, you want to roll down the windows, and you can't even enjoy it unless you get the wind buffeting kits. So check those out. Next for me is going to be that the car has, they have fake vents on the exterior of the car. Just would have been cool to see like real venting and or like some sort of real ducting to help, you know, cool the tires and brakes or whatever the case may be. But for me, at least on a Toyota Supra, obviously not a free or cheap car necessarily, otherwise I'd have one. On a Porsche of the same, you know, quality or price package, you'd probably get real vents. So that's gonna be a miss for me. Next one, and this is one that's highly debatable, I guess you could say, is that the car never came with a manual transmission. For a lot of people, this is a big miss. I'm gonna go ahead and be the opposite on this one, and that I actually enjoy the transmission that the cars came with. I find it actually incredibly fun to drive. I do obviously enjoy driving manual transmission cars. It's a different feeling. However, with this car, you are able to go incredibly fast with the trans that it has. It can take a bit of abuse, and honestly, I wish that there is a way to put this exact same trans in the Q60. I compare those cars quite a bit, and I wish the Q60 had this trans. So, I don't know, maybe somebody can make that happen. All right, you guys, last con, and potentially the biggest one, depending on what year your Toyota Supra is that the 2021 models and up, as of right now at least, are unable to be tuned. Meaning they just can't really get into the ECUs and tune them, like at all. So, 2021 and up, guys, kind of sorry for you. I mean, it's a real big bummer because obviously the 2020 models, the biggest thing is, again, as I mentioned before, as a pro to the vehicle being that, you know, you can essentially just slap on a downpipe and a catback and a new tune and you can make, you know, upwards of 500 horsepower or so with just those simple things done. And so that's a huge pro. However, if your car's a 2021 model or up, you're not gonna be able to do that. So that kind of sucks. And it's possibly a defeating factor for a lot of people, at least until they get to the point where you'll be able to get in and tune these vehicles. So that being said, that's gonna be the final con for me. All right, you guys, but that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. That is, at least by our definition, the pros and cons of modifying / also owning a A90 or A91 Toyota Supra. What do you guys think? Did we nail it? Did we miss a few things? Do you really hate that it's a BMW? Or do you not care anymore? Is the joke played out as it is to me, as it is to you? I don't know, let me know. Either way, let us know, comments down below, what do you guys think? If you guys are interested in any parts for your Toyota Supra, go ahead and check out MAPerformance.com. We've also got parts for any other performance vehicle on the market. But until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Be sure to smash that thumbs up button. It also is called a like, and subscribe and turn on that bell so you don't miss future uploads. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.